हे संसार में बिखरे हुए लोगों, विवेकहीन और श्रद्धा रहित संशय युक्त मनुष्य परमार्थ से अवश्य ही भ्रष्ट हो जाते हैं। ऐसे संशय युक्त मनुष्य के लिए न तो यह लोक है, न परलोक है, और न कोई सुख ही है।
O scattered people on the earth, persons who possess neither faith nor knowledge, and who are of the doubting nature, suffer a downfall for the skeptical souls. There is no happiness either in this world or the next.
यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे।
हे मनुष्य, गीता किसी विशेष व्यक्ति, किसी विशेष जाति, किसी विशेष वर्ग, किसी विशेष पंथ, किसी विशेष देश काल या किसी रूढ़िवादी विचारधारा वाला व्यक्ति का ग्रंथ नहीं है, बल्कि यह प्रत्येक जाति, प्रत्येक धर्म, चारों वर्ण, पाप योनि, चांडाल, पापी से भी महापापी, प्रत्येक आयु के प्रत्येक स्त्री पुरुष के लिए अर्थात सबके लिए है। सचमुच गीता संपूर्ण मानव जाति का धर्म ग्रंथ है। और कितने गौरव की बात है कि गीता आपका धर्म ग्रंथ है। ओ मैन, गीता इज नॉट अ रिलीजियस बुक of any person, any particular caste, any particular class, any particular sector, any particular country, or any orthodox ideological person. Rather, it is for every caste, every religion, the four varnas, born of most lower family, the greatest sinner, or more than the sinner, of every age, every man and woman, that is for all. Truly, the Gita is the religious book of the entire human race, and it is a matter of great pride that the Gita is your religious book.
हे संसार में बिखरे हुए लोगों, विवेकहीन और श्रद्धा रहित संशय युक्त मनुष्य परमार्थ से अवश्य ही भ्रष्ट हो जाते हैं। ऐसे संशय युक्त मनुष्य के लिए न तो यह लोक है, न परलोक है, और न कोई सुख ही है।
O scattered people on the earth, persons who possess neither faith nor knowledge, and who are of the doubting nature, suffer a downfall. For the skeptical souls, there is no happiness either in this world or the next.
यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे।
Oh man, Gita is not a religious book of any person, any particular caste, any particular class, any particular sector, any particular country, or any orthodox ideological person. Rather, it is for every caste, every religion, the four varnas, born of most lower family, the greatest sinner, or more than the sinner, of every age, every man and woman, that is for all. Truly, the Gita is the religious book of the entire human race, and it is a matter of great pride that the Gita is your religious book. Scattered people on this earth. This program is such a journey that will change your life. This journey will take you to the destination of salvation and happiness. Watch this program comfortably. Observe and go with it while watching. Do not allow the mind to inquire or analyze it. Do listen to the word and get immersed into the word, and listen to the words one by one and drown in the words. Just keep listening to the words and keep watching whether you reach the destination or not. It is only for you. You are a drop of light in this creation. You all have only one search, the door of salvation and the attainment of salvation, as well as the search for blissful life on this earth, good health, infinite peace, knowledge of good fortune, and eternal life. In any case, the joy of salvation. To achieve all these things, happiness and eternal peace, every human seeks Gurudev. But can you find it? Yes, it can be achieved. These all are possible only when the authorized Guru or Son of God arrives on this earth. It is the Adi Sri Arun who is Son of God. By following whose path, you will achieve all these things, because Adi Sri Arun is the only way. So, let's start the journey.
blessings. Prabhu, shower us with your blessings. Prabhu, shower us with your blessings. Today we have thanked the Almighty. Prabhu, we are your devotees. We glorify you from deep within. Shower us with your blessings. Prabhu, shower us with your blessings. Prabhu, shower us with your blessings. Created all of us, only you can quench our thirst.
Lead us the path of righteousness and bless us with happiness.
Prabhu, bless us with happiness. Prabhu, bless us with happiness. Today we have thanked the Almighty. Prabhu, we are your devotees. We glorify you from deep within. Shower us with your blessings. Prabhu, shower us with your blessings. Prabhu, shower us with your blessings. You're our heavenly Bhagavan. Help us to love everyone.
Rid our hearts of jealousy and let us always be your devotees.
Prabhu, let us always be your devotees. Prabhu, let us always be your devotees. Today we have thanked the Almighty. Prabhu, we are your devotees. We glorify you from deep within. Shower us with your blessings. Prabhu, shower us with your blessings. Prabhu, shower us with your blessings. Mahesh and Vishnu, your love is pure and true.
Help us to protect our dharma and purify our karma.
Prabhu, purify our karma. Prabhu, purify our karma. Today we have thanked the Almighty. Prabhu, we are your devotees. We glorify you from deep within. shower us with your blessings. Prabhu, shower us with your blessings. Prabhu, shower us with your blessings. Prabhu, shower us with your blessings.
ईश्वर पुत्र आदि श्री अरुण, तेरा ब्रह्म ज्ञान व्यापक था, व्यापक है, व्यापक रहे। ब्रह्म ज्ञान रूपाय विश्व उत्पत्त्यादि हेत्वे तापत्रय विनाशाय आदि श्री वयं नमः। जो ब्रह्म ज्ञान रूप हैं, जो इस जगत की उत्पत्ति, स्थिति और विनाश के कारण हैं, तथा तीन तापों को नाश करने वाले हैं, उस ईश्वर पुत्र आदिश्री अरुण को नमस्कार करता हूँ।
Son of God Adi Shri Arun, I have come to consult you with the inspiration of Kal administration.
Hey Devi, welcome to the consultation room.
Now you should start preparing to compete with Kali Purush from today itself. That's why I have come to your service. Now you order your warriors to destroy Kali Purush and his representative. Now don't waste your time giving instructions to people.
You have made me aware of the time fixed by the Kal administration. It is a very good thing. There is no wastage of time in preaching to the people. This incarnation of mine is embodiment of perfect love. This is the time for me to play love among my devotees, in which I have to make people realize that first of all God loved man and not man. The whole world is the result of the attraction of this love.
But what is its purpose in today's politics?
Its purpose is man has to learn that without love there is no creation. And even if the creation is done, then without love the life of man is incomplete. Politics alone does not fulfill life, nor is it the goal of life. The ultimate goal of the life is love, only love, because from there the path of devotion begins.
That's all fine, but in today's time, America is a superpower. But except America, 3 more countries are dreaming of becoming a superpower. Today's politics says that there are many powerful countries developed with many atomic bombs which are ruled by the representative of Kali Purush. She is sitting ready to make this earth human void. These powers should be destroyed before those countries make this earth humanless.
Let this time come.
But when will that time come, Son of God?
It's about to come, but not now. Now is the time for the complete love Leela of Son of God Adisri Arun. Before starting the Leela of destruction, the Son of God Adisri Arun wants to give this message to the human beings, that ultimately love is the basis of the creation and love is the essence of the world.
मेरे जो भी भक्त हैं सब है नातेदार, सब है नातेदार, ये मेरे सब है नातेदार। लोगों ये अवतार हैं आदि श्री अवतार, लोगों ये अवतार हैं आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार। संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, श्री आदि श्री अवतार। बंधु सखा और मात पिता कह जुड़े अनेकों नाते, ओ बंधु सखा और मात पिता कह जुड़े अनेकों नाते। बालक समझ के पल न झुलाते, प्रेम से भोग लगाते। तुम ही हो घट घट के वासी, तुम ही हो घट घट के वासी। पार्थ सारथी बन के सुनाया, पार्थ सारथी बन के सुनाया, गीता का सब सार, गीता का सब सार। जो भी मेरे भक्त हैं सब हैं नातेदार, जो भी मेरे भक्त हैं सब हैं नातेदार। आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार। संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, श्री आदि श्री अवतार। प्रेम के नाते जो है निभाते, जो मुझको है भाव से ध्याते। ओ प्रेम के नाते जो है निभाते, जो मुझको है भाव से ध्याते। वो मुझको हर रूप में पाते, जो भी मेरी शरण में आते। आदि श्री घट घट के वासी, तुम ही हो घट घट के वासी। काम क्रोध मद लोभ न भाए, काम क्रोध मद लोभ न भाए। मैं हूँ प्रेम आधार, तुम हो प्रेम आधार। जो भी मेरे भक्त हैं सब हैं नातेदार, जो भी मेरे भक्त हैं सब हैं नातेदार। प्रेम ही भक्ति प्रेम ही पूजा, प्रेम ही भक्ति प्रेम ही पूजा, प्रेम ही भक्ति प्रेम ही पूजा। आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार। संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार। प्रेम ही भक्ति प्रेम ही पूजा। आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार। संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार। श्री आदि श्री अवतार। संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार।
प्रेम ही सब वेदों का सार, प्रेम ही सब वेदों का सार।
What is the explanation of the supreme power in the words of music? The words of music of a musician like you. In fact, only the foresight of the musician can transcend the limits of the time and see the supreme power that is eternal.
बजाओगे राधा गोरी ऐसा मौसम है, ऐसा मौसम है। उतर कर अंबर से तारे झिलमिल कर प्यारे,
सुंदर राजकुमार बनकर वास करते हैं सारे।
ये कितना दिव्य नजारा है,
प्यारा स्वर्ग हमारा है। राधा पूछे शाम से, राधा पूछे शाम से, कह दो कहाँ कैसा मौसम है।
सोने जैसे दिन और चांद जैसी रात हैं, सोने जैसे दिन और चांद जैसी रात हैं।
हीरो के महल पे जवाहर की बरसात,
सोने जैसे दिन और चांद जैसी रात हैं, सोने जैसे दिन और चांद जैसी रात हैं।
हीरो के महल बरसाते हैं। सिर पर मोर मुकुट धारे, देखल कल जमुना किनारे।
है सुंदर राजकुंवर बनकर रास करते हैं हिल सारे। सोने जैसे दिन और चांद जैसी रात हैं। सोने जैसे दिन और चांद जैसी रात हैं।
हीरो के महल पे जवाहर की बरसाते।
सोने जैसे दिन और चांद जैसी रात हैं। सोने जैसे दिन और चांद जैसी रात हैं।
हीरो के महल पे जवाहर की बरसाते हैं। सिर पर मोर मुकुट धारे, देखल कल जमुना किनारे।
है सुंदर राजकुंवर बनकर रास करते हैं हिल सारे। सुन के खो जाओगे राधा गोरी, ऐसा मौसम है। पावन मुखड़ों पे प्यारी मुस्कान है। ओ पावन मुखड़ों पे प्यारी मुस्कान है।
बागों में बहारों में ये सुख की भरी खाने। बागों में बहारों में ये सुख की भरी खाने।
फसा में हम मन के गुब्बारे, दिशा में खुशी के फुवारे। है सुंदर राजकुंवर बनकर रास करते हैं हिल सारे।
राधा पूछे शाम से, हो राधा पूछे शाम से, कह दो कन्हा कैसा मौसम है।
दुनिया बनानी ऐसी किसने पुकारा है। दुनिया बनानी ऐसी किसने पुकारा है। बेहद गगन हो जैसे मिलता इशारा है।
सुखद संकल्प यही धारे, नयन वही नवयुग निहारे।
है देवी राजकुंवर बनकर रास करते हैं हिल सारे।
राधा पूछे शाम से, कह दो कन्हा कैसा मौसम है। राधा पूछे शाम से, कह दो कन्हा कैसा मौसम है।
सुन के खो जाओगे राधा गोरी, ऐसा मौसम है। 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 ऐसा मौसम है।
कौन था ये? कोई दिव्य शक्ति थी, महाशक्ति। बस तुम्हें भी ऐसी ही दुनिया बनानी है।
यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे संभवामि युगे युगे।
O scattered people in the world, during the Krishna period, worship system, customs or tradition, and many sects were dominated in the name of religion in the world. There was a need to quell the evils. Lord Krishna needed to incarnate on the earth to facilitate the process of establishment and attainment of only one God. The stereotypical idea of sitting down by destroying the interest of doing work and calling oneself a knowledgeable person was completely pervasive. Therefore, in protest against these evils, for the fourth time, Lord Krishna raised the voice that according to both Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, one has to act. Gita is the religious scripture of the entire human race. It has the answer to every question arising in the mind of every human being. That is, the solution to every problem of human life is hidden in the Gita. In chapters 18 and 700 verses. There are answers to the questions related to the life of karma, dharma, fruits, birth, death, truth, untruth, etc. in Gita. Gita contains the teachings of Lord Sri Krishna or Son of God, Ishwar, Putra, Adi Sri Arun within itself. Gita is my abode. This is where I sleep. And on this basis, I maintain the three worlds.
आज श्री देने चले भक्तों को जब ज्ञान ब्रह्म ज्ञान में खो गए, केंद्रित हो गया ध्यान। जब देने को चल दिए आदि श्री जी ज्ञान, भक्त ध्यान में खो गए, केंद्रित हो गया ध्यान, केंद्रित हो गया ध्यान। ब्रह्मा जागे नारद चौंके, ब्रह्मा जागे नारद चौंके, त्रिभुवन में कौतूहल जागा। चारों दिशाएं शांत हुई और ध्यान धारा पे सभी का लागा। चारों दिशाएं शांत हुई और ध्यान धारा पे सभी का लागा। गीता का महाज्ञान सुनने को, गीता का महाज्ञान सुनने को शिव ने ध्यान समाधि त्यागा। एक अर्जुन के निमित्त मिलेगा, एक अर्जुन के निमित्त मिलेगा, ज्ञानामृत सबको बिनु मांगा, ज्ञानामृत सबको बिनु मांगा।
O man, Radiant Updesh of Gita, Chapter 6 is called Self-Restraint Yoga or Practice of Yoga. In Radiant Updesh of Gita, Chapter 3, the son of God Adi Shri Arun had told you that all kinds of enjoyment, the state of the art, get absorbed in it due to its inability to produce any kind of disorder. That is, the steady intellect, while enjoying all the pleasures, remains free from attachment. A wise man in such a position attains supreme peace. In Gita, chapter 2, verse 55, the son of God Adi Shri Arun openly said that when one discards all selfish desires and cravings of the senses that torment the mind and becomes satisfied in the realization of the self, such a person is said to be transcendently situated. Only intelligent persons in such a position do welfare of the world. The common man ends his life's journey by running after the objects of enjoyment. But the life journey of a situated wise person aims at public welfare. O man, the situated wise people remain free from attachment. But when a person is enjoying the world by living in the world, then those who see him will consider him to be an enjoyer. Will he not? Just as if a person stands at a liquor store and drinks apple juice, then the people watching will call him an alcoholic, right? But oh man, where does a situated wise man worry about what a worldly man tells him? He enjoys the world with a detached spirit. Even if such a meditative person is watching the dance of a dancer, then he also sees her as a Lord's Leela. O man, the nature of the biggest and the unfathomable ocean is as similar as to that of a person who is steady intellect. O man, if more water comes in the river, then that river gets flooded and its stormy waves break the banks and cause havoc all around. Exactly the same is the case with a person with a low thought people. He does not digest a little money or little success. Intoxicated by a little money and a little success, he breaks the limit and starts acting like a petty person. But a person who is situated wise is like an ocean in which the water of rivers keeps accumulating continuously from all around. But the ocean remains calm in the same way. But the water of the rivers get lost in its depth. But the ocean never breaks its shore. The water level inside it remains the same. This is the condition of a prudent person. In Radiant Updesh of Gita, chapter 4 and verse 20 and 21, the son of God Adishri Arun said that a person is always satisfied by renouncing the attachment to its fruits of his action and does not depend on external shelters. In spite of being engaged in karma, they do not actually do any karma. Such wise men, being free from the desires of the fruit and the sense of ownership, keep their mind and intellect in control and do not earn any sin even while working with the body. O man, a person who does not want the fruits of action and does only the work that is worth doing, that is, the person who performs his duty is the real sannyasi and yogi. A real sannyasi or real yogi is not the one who leaves the world and says that the world's work is not for him. A real yogi is the one who performs his assigned duty successfully and happily. O man, the one who is called sannyasi is known as yoga. Sannyas means renunciation of desires. You have to give up your desires and desires. Then only that renunciation will be called yoga. But giving up desire means giving up action is absolutely wrong. O man, such sannyasi cannot be considered as yogi who say that there is no action in the path of knowledge. Karma has to be done no matter what happens. One who renounces the fruit of action while doing action, that is, does not devote his life to the fruit of action, only he can be called a yogi. O man, a yogi can only be the one who thinks, understands, and meditates. For such a contemplative person, it is necessary in the attainment of yoga that he should act with the selflessness, and when he starts walking on the path of yoga, then the most important thing is the absence of all thoughts, that is, renunciation of all desires. O man, many of you may feel that if you stop wishing, then what will be left in life? But the truth is that only when you drop the desire will the real life begin. O man, try doing this and follow the path shown by the Son of God Adishri Arun. If you do this, then you yourself will understand what life is. O man, the time in which the yogi neither engages his mind in the pleasures of the senses nor is attached to his actions, at that time when he has given up all his desires, only then does he reach the true state of being a yogi. First comes thinking, after thinking to move towards the same direction and don't deviate from that path. O man, today I have explained you the whole path to achieve the goal and become a complete yogi. Now you have to decide whether you want to follow this path or not. O man, you are your own best friend and your own worst enemy. If you think that your friends or your relatives can do you good or bad, then it is absolutely wrong. He can definitely harm you in worldly matters, but not in the world of knowledge to get self-salvation. You can try to gain knowledge by lifting yourself above this world. You have to try to free yourself from the bondage of karma, because you are there even when you die, and you are alive, and you will achieve God with your efforts. Oh man, do you know who among you is your own friend and who is your own enemy? He who has conquered the body with his mind and senses is his own friend, and by whom the body has not been conquered with the mind and the senses is his own enemy. He who does not get carried away by the impulse of emotions and controls himself, he does his own good. But you can understand for yourself how much damage he does to himself who does the opposite work in lust and anger. Now you have to decide whether you will be your own friend or your own enemy. Oh man, whether there is happiness or sadness in winter or summer, the person remains the same. In respect or disgrace, the person who is feeling the same in both of them, such a person is called independent. Only in such an independent man can true knowledge be found. If external things decide how you will behave, then you are dependent. Your freedom is tied up in things outside. When you have control over yourself, everything is inside you. This is true freedom. But most of you are slaves. The only difference is that they don't know. O man, inside, which is full of knowledge and science, who does not allow any deficiency to dominate him, one whose own senses are well controlled and for whom clay, stone and gold are alike, he has attained God. A real yogi considers soil and gold to be the same, but gold is precious. So is it not foolish to think of gold as soil? O man, no. Gold is precious, but for the pleasures of this world, those pleasures which are actually false. The yogi knows this. Explaining the definition of yogi, Lord Krishna says that one who is the heart, that is, the one who sincerely desires the good of all, the one who is everyone's friend, the one who wants the best for his enemy, that is the real yogi. You all have a habit of distinguishing between good and bad people. But are you capable of judging everyone? No. O man, one who is yogi does not judge anyone. He has the same feeling for everyone. It is common to call a monk good and a thief bad, but yogi doesn't do that. The person who keeps the body in the control with his mind and senses, one who has destroyed hope in his mind and does not collect anything, that is, he is a yogi. Standing alone in a lonely place, he should constantly engage the soul in the divine.
आदि श्री ने फिर से बताया गीता का वो ज्ञान, गीता का वो ज्ञान। सबको मुक्ति का मार्ग दिखाया आदि श्री ने, सबको मुक्ति का मार्ग दिखाया आदि श्री ने। अद्भुत गीता का ज्ञान बताया आदि श्री ने, अद्भुत गीता का ज्ञान बताया आदि श्री ने। सबको मुक्ति का मार्ग दिखाया आदि श्री ने, अद्भुत गीता का ज्ञान बताया आदि श्री ने, अद्भुत गीता का ज्ञान बताया आदि श्री ने। अद्भुत 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 है ये गीता का ज्ञान, अद्भुत 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 है ये गीता का ज्ञान। ज्ञान का पाठ पढ़ाया, ब्रह्म ज्ञान का पाठ पढ़ाया आदि श्री ने। अद्भुत गीता का ज्ञान बताया आदि श्री ने। अद्भुत गीता का ज्ञान बताया आदि श्री ने।
Now the question arises that by being situated in a secluded place, how should the soul be constantly engaged in God? There has been a lot of change from the time of Mahabharata to the present day. Homes are no longer the same as they used to be, but the method of meditation has not changed, nor can it ever change. In other words, you can even say that the world changed, people have changed, but the method of yoga did not change. O man, in the pure ground on which are laid kush, deer, and clothes respectively, which is neither too high nor too low, in such a way that your seat is fixed of yoga did not change. O man, the son of God Adishri Arun tells you that you can meditate by sitting on a flat pedestal on a clean ground. Whether you meditate on God, but the intention of meditating should be in your heart. Secondly, avoid all the disturbances outside and look inside yourself. The third thing I want to say to you is that while sitting on the seat, keeping the mind and the actions of the senses under control, practice yoga for the purification of the conscience by concentrating the mind. Concentrate your mind and keep your mind under control, which is always running here and there. You have to sit without looking at other directions, keeping your body and throat equal and immovable and keeping your eyes fixed on the front part of your nose. And when you sit, your head, throat and the rest of the body should be straight. After the stability of the body, to stabilize the mind, keep the eyes on the front part of the nose so that nothing else can be seen. By doing this, you can control your mind and meditate successfully. O man, the person meditating should be situated in the vow of Brahmachari. Brahmachari means the one who practices in Brahm. That is, the person who performs the yajna according to the rules. There should be no fear in your mind and your conscience should be absolutely calm. After being so careful, one should stop his mind and allow his mind to go inside the God. Your nature should be sattvic and you should not have any fear of anything. You have complete peace in your mind. This is the state of a yogi. O man, such a yogi who has controlled his mind should find the form of God in his soul. By doing this, a person attains peace in the form of culmination of ecstasy residing in God. O man, your soul is a part of God. The mind tries to hide this truth from you. This is the reason why it is very important for a yogi to control the mind. Only then meditation will be completed, the sadhana will be completed. Many people do yoga, but does everyone get siddhi in it? No. Oh man, who is the one who gets this accomplishment? Do you know? Oh man, this yoga is proved neither for one who eats a lot, nor for the one who does not eat at all, nor for one who has the nature of sleeping a lot, nor for the one who is always awake. But those who are temperate in eating and recreation, balanced in work, and regulated in sleep, can mitigate all sorrows by practicing yoga. The yoga that destroys sorrows is proved only by the one who takes proper diet, the one who makes proper efforts in actions, and the one who sleeps and wakes properly. O man, to whom will this yoga be proved? Listen carefully and understand it. Eat as much food as you are hungry. Walk as much as you need to win. That is walk. Do as much work as you need to win. Get as much sleep as you need for good health. and worship to God and do meditation. Oh man, do you know why your yoga is not perfect? You all know that there are 24 hours in a day. Will it take at most 1 hour to eat food in a day? It would have taken 1 hour to walk, that is to walk. A man works 6 hours a day. A healthy person sleeps for 6 hours at night. 2 hours of time would have been spent in worshipping in the morning and evening. A maximum of 1 hour will be spent in bathing and washing clothes. How much time was spent in total? A total of 17 hours were spent. Oh man, where did you spend 7 hours? The Son of God Adishri Arun asks you for an account. Your neighbor says that you spent 7 hours fighting, slandering others, harming others, and hurting others. So tell me how your yoga will be perfect. The name of the means which destroys sorrows is yoga. If your yoga is not perfect, then tell me how will your sufferings be eradicated? When your sorrows are not eradicated, then you will have to suffer. Oh man, with thorough discipline, they learn to withdraw the mind from selfish cravings and revert it on the unsurpassable good of the self. Such persons are said to be in yoga and are free from all yearnings of the senses. O man, the state in which the mind, which is restrained by the practice of yoga, becomes supreme, and in which state, being satisfied with the Supreme Soul by the subtle intellect that has been purified by the meditation of the Supreme Soul, remains content in the Supreme Soul. O man, past from the senses, the infinite bliss which is accessible only by the purified subtle intellect, the state in which he experiences it, and the state in which this yogi situated does not deviate from the nature of the Supreme Soul. O man, just as a lamp in a windless place does not flicker, so the disciplined mind of a yogi remains steady in meditation on the Supreme. O man, when the mind, restrained from the material activities, becomes still by the practice of yoga, then the yogi is able to behold the soul through the purified mind, and he rejoices in the inner joy. O man, in that joyous state of yoga, called samadhi, one experiences supreme boundless divine bliss, and thus situated, one never deviates from the eternal truth. O man, having gained that state, one does not consider any attainment to be greater. Being thus established, one is not shaken even in the midst of the greatest calamity. O man, with the continuous practice of a person, the mind can reach a state from which it does not get distracted. When the mind reaches such a state of relaxation, your subtle intellect can realize God. In this, the person practicing yoga gets true satisfaction. His mind always wants that his attention should be always on God. The two things meet together and forms a new thing, or the things of separate identity is called sanyog. For example, 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. The two things become separate is vyog, or disconnection. The name of attainment of the greatest happiness is yoga. One can come to the state of yoga only by leaving the desires of this world, and desires are released only when the mind is under control. Therefore, if you want to come into the state of yoga, then you have to be separated from the world of greed. You have to break away from the world of selfishness. The kinship of small gains will have to be given up. Oh man, the decision is in your hands. Do you want the small advantage or you want the biggest gain? Water has no identity of its own. The vessel in which you put it, it will take the shape of the same vessel. But when this water keeps falling on a rock continuously, it leaves its effect. The Son of God Adishri Arun advises to do practice sequentially. That is, keep doing your practice slowly and keep meditating every day to attain the state of yoga. Your mind never seems to do what you want to do, and what you do not want to do, the mind runs in that direction again and again. That is why the mind is called fickle. It never stops, but with constant practice, you can get victory in this habit. Different things of the world drive it away and make it unstable. If you meditate with your own conscience or with the determination of your will, then the mind can be controlled. Only then will this mind be engaged in God or in whatever work you want to do. No matter how slow the pace of your practice may be, but after continuous practice, you will find that you have controlled your mind. Once this happens, your mind will become calm and its restlessness will end. This stage is the first link in the chain that will one day lead you to the ultimate bliss. If you want to see God or you want to experience the greatest happiness, then you have to start from here. You can consider meditation as the gateway to the biggest truth. Oh man, the person who keeps his mind under control and constantly comes to himself in a state of meditation, then he gets away from all the sins also. Only that person is able to know the form of Supreme Lord, that is the greatest joy. Somebody gets pleasure in sleeping, in eating, and in what work they do not know. But, oh man, all these joys are momentary or for a certain time. That joy is about to end in a few minutes. The joy of knowing the nature of Brahma, that is everlasting, is the kind of happiness that never ends.
बहरूपिया मन पापी है, बहरूपिया मन पापी है, ये तो हर पल स्वांग रचाए। आदि श्री जय जय कल की, जय जय प्रेम अवतार। आदि श्री जय जय कल की, 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 जय जय प्रेम अवतार। आदि श्री जय जय कल की, आदि श्री जय जय कल की, आदि श्री जय जय कल की, आदि श्री जय जय कल की। मन के बहकावे में नया तू, ये मन बहकावे में डाले, मन के बहकावे में नया तू, ये मन बहकावे में डाले। तू इस मन का दास ना बन, इस मन को अपना दास बना ले। मन के बहकावे में नया तू, ये मन बहकावे में डाले, मन के बहकावे में नया तू, ये मन बहकावे में डाले। तू इस मन का दास ना बन, इस मन को अपना दास बना ले। आदि श्री जय जय कल की, 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 आदि श्री जय जय कल की,
जय जय प्रेम अवतार। आदि श्री जय जय कल की, 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 आदि श्री जय जय कल की।
Oh man, there is a big question. This question was there even thousands of years ago. It is today and will remain so. If there is a God, why is it not visible? What happens is seen, what is not seen. Oh man, God is not visible for 5 reasons. First, God is hidden from Yog Maya. Second, people keep on imbibing knowledge. Third, people don't have pure conscience. Fourth, without faith no man knows God. Fifth, without faith and devotion, no one knows the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In order to see the Lord, he has to overcome these disqualifications and come to the state of yoga. When you come to this yoga position, then the Lord is not invisible to you, and you are not invisible to the Lord. Oh man, one who practices yoga is called a yogi. But do you know what are the qualifications a person should have to be a yogi? Out of all the qualifications to be a yogi, the one who considers happiness and sorrow as equal and possesses the same spirit is considered to be the supreme. Can he who discriminates be called a yogi? No. Can he who does not accept all be called a yogi? Never. Oh man, the primacy of equanimity is said in yoga. But how can it be a constant state of mind being fickle? Arjuna put a question in front of Lord Krishna that since the mind is very fickle, that's why he will never be able to come to an equanimity. It is easy to say that happiness and sorrow should be treated as equals. But I want to know how this equanimity can be brought. Arjuna again asks Lord Shri Krishna that this mind is very restless, suppresses others, very strong and strong. To control the mind, I ask for something as difficult as stopping the wind. Can you stop the wind? Oh man, Arjuna is telling that it is so difficult to control the mind and is asking how to control the wrong mind. So have you ever consulted anyone on this serious matter? Arjun is desperate to find a solution for this. He is asking Lord Krishna the solution of how to control the mind. But whom did you consult to find a solution to this serious problem? Only Lord Shri Krishna can give the easiest answer to the toughest question. Lord Shri Krishna said that, O great Mahabaho, undoubtedly the mind was fickle and difficult to be controlled, but it is controlled by practice and dispassion. O man, the son of God Adi Shri Arun tells you that yoga is difficult to be attained by such a person whose mind is not controlled, and it is easy to achieve it by a person with a controlled mind. This is my opinion. O man, whether the journey is long or short, but the first step has to be taken. Controlling the mind is also the first step. But this first step is so big that you will not even know how and when the journey will be completed after that.
ब्रह्मा जागे नारद चौंके, ब्रह्मा जागे नारद चौंके, त्रिभुवन में कौतूहल जागा। चारों दिशाएं शांत हुई और ध्यान धारा पे सभी का लगा। चारों दिशाएं शांत हुई और ध्यान धारा पे सभी का लगा। गीता का महाज्ञान सुनने को, गीता का महाज्ञान सुनने को शिव ने ध्यान समाधि त्यागा। एक अर्जुन के निमित्त मिलेगा, एक अर्जुन के निमित्त मिलेगा, ज्ञानामृत सबको बिनु मांगा। आदि श्री प्रेम अवतार, जय जय प्रेम अवतार। आदि श्री जय जय कल की, आदि श्री जय जय कल की, आदि श्री जय जय कल की, आदि श्री जय जय कल की।
Oh man, now another dilemma came in front of Arjuna. He asks Lord Krishna a question related to yoga, that, "O Krishna, suppose those who have faith in yoga but are not restrained, what will happen to them if they can't control themselves? Suppose that such a seeker whose mind is distracted by yoga will neither get yoga nor will he be able to face God. So what will happen to such a seeker in such a condition?" Oh man, this question is for all of you. How many of you have faith in yoga? They even started, but they are not able to control the mind. If you do not control the mind, then the yoga will not be completed. And then, what will happen to you then? Arjuna asked Lord Krishna that, "O Lord, what would happen to a man who had walked on the path of yoga but misguided on the way and could not control the mind?" Arjuna again asked Lord Shri Krishna that, "O Lord, will that shelterless person who is attached to the path of God realization be corrupted on both sides like a scattered cloud and will not perish?" Arjuna said to Lord Krishna that, "O Lord, you are able to completely clear this doubt of mine, because no one other than you is able to clear this doubt." Oh man, there is always fear in the difficult road. Do you know what will happen on the way? Due to this fear, Arjuna asked Lord Shri Krishna that whoever started yoga but forgot the path in the middle, due to which he left the yoga, what would happen to him? Will it be destroyed? Arjuna knows that God is in front of him, the God who stands in the battle of men, among men, and is advising to fight. Arjuna knows that there is no one wiser than Krishna. What Krishna has said is the ultimate truth. Lord Shri Krishna replied to Arjuna that man neither perishes in this world nor in the hereafter, because, O Arjuna, any person who works for self-improvement does not attain misfortune. A yogic man, having attained the worlds of the virtuous, resides in them for many years, and then takes birth in the house of a pure virtuous man. Or a dispassionate person does not go to those worlds and takes birth in the family of yogis. But this type of birth is undoubtedly very rare in the world. There, the sum of the intelligence acquired in that first body is obtained spontaneously. With its influence, he tries harder than ever for accomplishment. That decline from yoga is subjugated as a result of that earlier practice. One is undoubtedly attracted towards yoga. Even a seeker of yoga, in the form of equanimity of intellect, crosses the fruits of the actions mentioned in the Vedas. A yogi who practices diligently becomes perfect in this birth by the sacraments of many previous births, becomes free from all sins, and soon attains the supreme state. O man, the yogi is superior to the ascetics, is considered superior to the scholars, and the yogi is superior to those who do fruitful deeds. That is why, O Arjuna, you become a yogi. Oh man, even among all the yogis, the yogi who worships me God continuously with his soul engaged in me God, that yogi is considered to be the best. Oh man, this was the radiant Updesh of Gita chapter 6, in which I solved your dilemma and brought the truth to the fore in your life, told the solution to every question of your life, by adopting which you can lead a happy life. Oh man, today you heard chapter 6 of Radiant Updesh of Gita, and here you give permission to your God's son Adi Shri Arun. Now next Thursday, I will come again in front of you with the 7th chapter of Radiant Updesh of Gita. Till then, you wait. Thank you.
मेरे जो भी भक्त हैं सब है नातेदार, सब है नातेदार, ये मेरे सब है नातेदार। लोगों ये अवतार हैं आदि श्री अवतार, लोगों ये अवतार हैं आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार। संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, श्री आदि श्री अवतार। बंधु सखा और मात पिता कह जुड़े अनेकों नाते, ओ बंधु सखा और मात पिता कह जुड़े अनेकों नाते, बालक समझ के पल न झुलाते, प्रेम से भोग लगाते। तुम ही हो घट घट के वासी, तुम ही हो घट घट के वासी, पार्थ सारथी बन के सुनाया, पार्थ सारथी बन के सुनाया, गीता का सब सार, गीता का सब सार। जो भी मेरे भक्त हैं सब हैं नातेदार, जो भी मेरे भक्त हैं सब हैं नातेदार। आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार। संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, श्री आदि श्री अवतार। प्रेम के नाते जो है निभाते, जो मुझको है भाव से ध्याते। ओ प्रेम के नाते जो है निभाते, जो मुझको है भाव से ध्याते, वो मुझको हर रूप में पाते, जो भी मेरी शरण में आते। आदि श्री घट घट के वासी, तुम ही हो घट घट के वासी। काम क्रोध मद लोभ न भाए, काम क्रोध मद लोभ न भाए। मैं हूँ प्रेम आधार, तुम हो प्रेम आधार। जो भी मेरे भक्त हैं सब हैं नातेदार, जो भी मेरे भक्त हैं सब हैं नातेदार। प्रेम ही भक्ति प्रेम ही पूजा, प्रेम ही भक्ति प्रेम ही पूजा, प्रेम ही भक्ति प्रेम ही पूजा। आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार। संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार। प्रेम ही भक्ति प्रेम ही पूजा। आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार, आदि श्री अवतार। संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार। श्री आदि श्री अवतार, संपूर्ण प्रेम अवतार,